Cleveland Browns versus Dallas Cowboys, instant reaction. So this is a fantastic game to watch. It was a lot of fun. It was interesting. Cleveland went out to an early lead, a massive lead, up 27 points going into the fourth quarter, and then they completely collapsed. Let me say this, couple things. One, and I will get to Dallas in just a bit. Cleveland running over 300 yards rushing, and Nick Chubb went out of the game. Was it Dearness Johnson or something? I'd be honest with you, I hadn't even really heard or paid any attention to, because we all know about Chubb and Hunt. Dearness Johnson, 13 carries, 95 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. Odell Beckham, 2 carries for 73 yards and touchdown, especially that decisive touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 11 carries, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, before he went out with that knee injury, and that scares me a little bit, 6 carries, 43 yards, 7.2 yards per carry. Dontrell Hilliard, who I had heard of before Dearness Johnson really kind of jumped out at me, 5 carries, 19 yards. Now, here's the thing. I know Kareem Hunt was dealing with, I believe it was a groin injury or something like that. Chubb out with a knee. You got to pay very, very close attention to that. Dearness Johnson is somebody you should probably be picking up on your fantasy football leagues like ASAP. He was the guy at the end of the game when they were running out the clock. He was the one taking the carries there. So I think Kareem Hunt's role will be standard. Maybe his snap share will go up depending on what happens with Chubb's injury. But Dearness Johnson will be a factor here. 7.3 yards per carry against an NFL defense. I don't care how much that defense is struggling. That's fantastic. Now, what did we say last year? Freddie Kitchens sucked as an offensive play caller. What did we say when the Browns made the hire of Stefanski? We loved it on this network. The consistent approach to running the ball and setting up the pass and putting Baker Mayfield in better positions to succeed. That's what Cleveland needed to do, and they did it. Baker Mayfield today was 19 of 30, which isn't even that great. 2 touchdowns. I believe both went to Odell Beckham. No, I'm sorry. One went to Austin Hooper, and Jarvis Landry hit Odell Beckham. So there were 3 passing touchdowns in this game. But giving Odell Beckham one-on-one matchups with Baker Mayfield on a bootleg after play action, because the safeties crash up. So you got those one-on-one matchups. That was there all day. Now, Cleveland, with that lead, they ended up trying to just run the clock out. They went to prevent defense. You can't go prevent against Dallas. Dallas is too good in their passing game. That plays right into their hands, and they were scoring just like fire. If Dak Prescott didn't forget to how to play quarterback in the third quarter, Dallas could have very well won this game. I mean, he was awful coming out of the half. But, once Cleveland went prevent, Dallas just worked their way down the field with speed and efficiency. It was awesome. But yeah, I mean, Odell Beckham, that was there all day. He could have easily had 4 touchdown passes today. In fact, he had one deep that Baker Mayfield missed him over the top. And then there was another one I believe he was interfered with slightly that was also there. He could have easily had 4 receiving touchdowns today. Odell Beckham always plays well against Dallas, but you saw this one coming, though. Dallas's defense in the secondary is bad. The Cleveland with the running game, you knew they were going to open up and take some chances to Odell Beckham. Even the chatter early in the week with Beckham saying, I don't care if I catch a touchdown as long as we're winning. All that stuff was lining up because you knew he was going to have you just knew he was going to have a big week. And I had him in my fantasy lineup. I didn't care about any of the projections. I knew he was going to be a monster. Let me talk about the Cowboys for just a little bit. First of all, Dallas, you do remember that Ezekiel Elliott's on your team, right? I mean, he's so forgotten that he actually even scored a touchdown and they didn't even bother to review it. I mean, he scored a touchdown. It was pretty clear, and they didn't review it. Tony Pollard, 3 carries, 16 yards, and a touchdown. Tony Pollard also in the receiving game adds a catch. Come on, guys. You got to use them a little bit more. Although they did, like I said, move down the field with efficiency. Ezekiel Elliott, only 12 carries, 54 yards. Look, when you're down 27 going to the fourth quarter, you're not going to be eating up carries. So I don't have a ton of issue with that. What I just found odd was Tony Pollard, and again, Dallas, I watch enough. I know that Pollard comes in with different packages and everything, but I just don't think that they used Ezekiel Elliott enough in this game when they could have. But again, Dallas is not like scoring points is their problem. They put up 38 freaking points. Their defense is just completely letting them down. By the way, as a receiver, 8 catches, 71 yards for Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. No touchdowns on either side of the ball. Receiving-wise, Amari Cooper, that last interception, look, that was entirely Amari Cooper's fault. He comes in, he gets into the turtle shell. I don't know what he was doing. In the very least, knock the ball down, dude. I mean, come on. Amari Cooper, 10 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown, and a very, very wussy play at the end of the game there. And Dak Prescott, 4 touchdowns, by the way, 1 interception, 41 of 58 passing, 502 yards. Insane line. Be happy if you had him in fantasy or daily fantasy. But that one interception is going to, cloud. It's what's going to be on ESPN and NFL and all that stuff. And everybody's going to think that's an interception that was his fault. It wasn't a bad throw. Amari Cooper, man. Come on. Be a man, dude. Step up. CeeDee Lamb looks fantastic. 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, 4 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown, which actually RoccoBot, if you follow this network, predicted, which is interesting. Noah Brown, 4 catches, 43 yards. Ced Wilson's 3 catches, 34 yards. Michael Gallup, only 2 catches, 29 yards. I'll be honest with everybody out there. CeeDee Lamb looks much better than Michael Gallup does at this point. You got to like CeeDee Lamb. It's not just the 2 catches. I mean, he just looks better on the field. With a day where Dak Prescott throws the ball 58 times, Michael Gallup ends up with 5 targets. That's less than 10%, only 2 catches on 41 completions. It's just interesting. Blake Bell, 2 catches for 24 yards. There's a lot of offense in this game. But also that onside kick, that watermelon onside kick, I think that was a mishit. I think that he was trying to squib it through again. Or maybe he was just hoping that the guy would make a bad play on it and kick it back. But that onside squib thing, that was bad. Though it almost worked the time before. He just didn't kick it far enough. I don't have a lot of criticism for Dallas, man. They're putting up points. The offense looks fantastic. Dak looks fantastic, other than the third quarter in this game. It's the defense, man. They're so bad. They are so bad. You don't really see a lot of defensive coordinators get fired in the middle of the season, but I'd really be thinking about that. They're awful. They are awful. What can you do, man? Cleveland, by the way, defensively, at least for the first 3 quarters, looked like they were doing really good. I was like, Cleveland, the ball control stuff, yada, yada, yada. Maybe this is a team that can be scary. And I think that they play a similar brand of ball to, let's say, the Titans and let's say the Raiders. But Baker Mayfield isn't efficient enough as a passer. I got to say, Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill play better football than Baker Mayfield do. I'm sorry, Cleveland fans. That's how it is. The running game will get you there. The 3-1 at this point with 7 playoff teams. If they go play basically 500 ball for the rest of the way, if they go 6-6, they end up 9-7. They're maybe in the playoffs, at least tied for that 7th seed. So they're in a really good spot through the first 4 games of the year, and I like what they're doing. Their defense went to prevent, and that's just not what you do against Dallas. That would have worked, and it did work against Washington. Dallas is a little better than Washington, though, offensively. So I have some concerns for Cleveland and what they did in the fourth quarter there. They also, if they had just kept their foot on the gas pedal and kept scoring points, they could have easily probably scored, I think, in this game 60 points, honestly. They really took their foot off the gas, I think, too early. And anytime you do that in the NFL, the momentum changes. So Dallas, offensively, no issues there. They're 1-3. I still think they're going to win that division. But that defense, and especially the secondary, they need to do something, figure it out. If you're a Dallas fan, comment below. What are you seeing defensively? What do you think they need to make changes for? To me, I think they're lacking depth. And that's what happens when you pay your offensive starters. And I know they paid Jalen Smith too, and they paid a couple of their defensive guys. But when you pay that many people, that many tens of millions of dollars, it hurts elsewhere on your team, and namely and specifically that's depth. That means you have to nail every single draft pick, and that's hard to do. And Dallas drafts well, but you can't nail every single draft pick. Cleveland doing well. They just need to do better. And by the way, when there's an interception, I know they got the one at the end of the game, but I think there's 1 or 2 that they dropped in this game too. It should have been a little bit better. So Cleveland needs to play better on the back end. Dallas needs to play better on the back end. Cleveland with that physical running game, that's the kind of game that's going to get you in the playoffs. And I'll say this, hot take here, I think both of these teams are in the playoffs. A 1-3 Dallas team will win the division. Cleveland will find a way at a 3-1 record to get in as a wild card team. They should. I like this new coaching staff for both of these teams. Fun game to watch. Let me know what you thought, Cleveland fans. Let me know what you thought, Dallas fans. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you again soon.